I'm walking here.
We're taking the ultimate tour of all the gayest and nerdiest places in Manhattan and Brooklyn. Because fuck Queens, that's why.
Formal disclaimer, They and Them LLC would like to make perfectly clear that we have nothing against the fine borough of Queens or the people in it. Staten Island, on the other hand.
Yeah, it's just really hard to get there.
Kai here, recording on behalf of SARE because they lost their voice. Our first stop was the Brooklyn Community Pride Center, which was unfortunately closed the day that we were there, but it is a great community resource. We then walked literally right down the block to the Non-Binarium bookstore. This is an exclusively LGBT bookstore and also a community space with lots of great events. Not that far is Anyone Comics, the local comic book store for this part of Brooklyn, which is very queer-friendly. Of course, we made some time to hang up flyers along the way. Seriously, we put them all over Brooklyn. Next was Love and Legends Books, a fantasy and speculative fiction bookstore which has adorable vibes inside. They host a lot of great events, and they have this cute roll for book thing. We went to the LGBT Center, of course, Manhattan's LGBT Community Center, wonderful community space. Our next stop was Forbidden Planet, which is the big comic book store for this part of Manhattan. Seriously, you can find all things nerdy here, including dice. We went to Hex & Co., the Union Square location of this local board game cafe chain. We then took the L train into Williamsburg to go to 20-Sided, a tabletop game store where they often have events where you can actually play a lot of these games. They stock a lot of indie games. We went to Quimby's Bookstore, which is an alt and small press bookstore, also in Williamsburg. They have a cat. Her name is Gracie. And also in Williamsburg was Last Place on Earth, a board game cafe which hosts D&D events every single night of the week. So it was a fitting last stop for our first day. Our second day brought us over to Industry City Furs, which is the spot of two nerdy spaces, the Adventurer's Supply Store and St. Mark's Comics, both of which are absolutely fantastic. We then traveled up to Midtown to visit New York City's oldest gaming store, The Complete Strategist, a classic old-school New York game and hobby shop. Look at all this vintage Dungeons & Dragons stuff they have. We went to Montesi Comics, which is a comic book shop that also has a gaming space in the back, where they often hold events for games such as Magic the Gathering. And not terribly far from Montesi is another comic book store, Midtown Comics, which is pretty much the comic book store for this part of New York City. And of course, we couldn't be flyering for the Musical Theater Podcast without going to the Drama Bookshop, which is an absolutely iconic space for theater nerds, where you can browse, read, and buy all things musical theater. And they let us put a flyer there.